What is going on YouTube? Gabmus here and welcome to this new video. So recently something pretty bad happened. My brother's phone, a Nexus 5, got broken, and in particular the antenna stopped working for, I don't know, some reason. For me this was actually quite a good thing because I could take this phone, the Nexus 5, and give Ubuntu Touch another try. So with no further ado guys, let's get into it. Let's actually have a look at what's inside. So the first thing you see here is the apps scope. Now, the whole home experience is based on scopes. This is something I don't really understand fully. It's like having a Google Now-ish experience for the whole home screen. So it's not customizable as you would expect on Android, where you have a launcher and your apps organized in the home screen in the drawer. You don't even have a drawer. The apps you see here are not organizable in any way. They are as you see them. Yeah, you can select like the categories, and the default category is all, and you basically see, I don't know why they put all here, because these are like the main apps you may want to use, like phone, messaging, contacts, camera, browser, and clock. These are not all the apps. The rest of the apps, apart from these ones, are here. So this part of the scope is like the rest of the apps organized in alphabetic order. So you basically have these two categories, and then you have a link to the Ubuntu store right on the bottom. Okay, this is something interesting. I mean, this kind of reminds me of the old GNOME 2 categorized menu, where you had basically all your apps organized in categories, but not quite so. I mean, it's pretty much weird. It's not like a logic order. I don't really think this is a final design for the home screen. I think they will change it eventually in the future. But let's move on and let's go right to the music scope. Now the music scope is weird because on top you see My Music, which is like the music you have on your device. Now for testing purposes, I put the Daft Punk discography I had in this phone just to test how it worked, and it's okay. I mean, it's you see your music here organized by I don't know, no particular order. You see Daft Punk here, and then Daft Punk fit George Moroder, and Daft Punk fit Julian Casablancas. And okay, this is another thing I don't quite understand. Now, many of you probably know that when you organize music by artist, you have kind of a mess. Because like featurings are shown as different artists, and I think they should have chosen the album artist tag for ordering, but this is something else. I don't want to spend so much time talking about this. Let's move on down here on the bottom. Now this other part of the scope is new albums from 7 Digital. Now I don't understand the use of this part of the scope, since this looks to me as an advertisement built in the home screen. I don't really understand this. This is practically just advertisement. I don't know. It's here. It's something. Then move on to the video scope, which is another scope, one of the main ones. And here you don't see advertisements, and I'm actually pretty surprised by this, since having advertisements here would have been kind of more useful than what this scope offers, because this scope offers no more than basically a sort of gallery of your videos. I don't really understand the point of these, but anyway, let's get back to the apps scope. And I was talking about the camera, and I'm happy to say that the camera works pretty fine. Let me show you some photos I took before. Now the front camera is weird. The quality is pretty bad. I don't really think they optimized it well for Nexus 5, but it's actually one of the things that I don't care about. And the back camera, I'm happy to say that the back camera works fine. And yeah, these are just some sample shots I made before recording this video, and I can say the camera works, the gallery works. It's pretty much okay. So let's move back to the home screen. One thing I want to make you understand is how much time simple apps take to load. So for instance, let's say I want to load. Okay, let me first get to the multitasking screen and close all the apps. And let me show you how much time it takes to open, for instance, the music app. Why does this happen? I don't know. I don't think this is particularly optimized. It's quite slow, not so slow that it compromises the usability of the operating system. But for an app as simple as a music app, this is quite upsetting. But you see here, the music app works fine. This is just the usual thing you're used to. So let's get to albums, for instance. Oh, you're already in albums. Yeah, album arts don't work for some reason. And I can tell you that on my PC, all these albums have an art, so they should work, but they don't. Let's try to open like a song. It works fine. The volume adjustment works fine too. And moving from song to song works. We have a queue. We can browse. We can change the song from the queue. It's pretty much working. So the music app, nothing particularly interesting here. It works. It's something. No, come on. Okay. Let's move back to the home screen. And let me show you something else. Let me show you some of the other apps included. We have a calculator. Again, it takes some time to load, which is weird again. So we have this calculator here. It works fine. We have this menu here for favorites. Swipe calculations to the left to mark as favorites. At first I thought that this was weird, but it may actually be useful, like having favorite calculations. Maybe some calculation you had to save for, I don't know, you had to buy something and you made a calculation and you want to save it so that it doesn't get lost. It's something that could be useful actually. We have, like, all the other apps are really just standard apps. Let me get to the system settings here. And we have a bunch of settings. Nothing too crazy. I mean, just normal stuff. We have an Android-like battery analysis tool, which is pretty nice. We have the possibility to turn off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS. By the way, on this build, Bluetooth doesn't work for the Nexus 5, so just to tell you. And then everything else is pretty much what you see. I mean, the other apps, the gallery, for instance, doesn't work. I don't know why. Maybe because this is like an alpha version. It's always an alpha version, but doesn't work. Let me get to the browser and show you how it works. So by default, it opens the Ubuntu forums in the Ubuntu Touch section. It's something. Making the user know that there is a forum they can get to is pretty interesting. Let me get to my website, which is actually pretty light. So this is loading my website. As you see, the browser works pretty fine. This website uses Polymer, and as you see, Polymer effects work just fine. I mean, the basic stuff works. I have a little Easter egg in my website. It's simple JavaScript, and as you can see, if I tap 20 times on my photo, a dinosaur appears. And JavaScript, so even if it's most simple stuff, it works fine, it's okay. So we can get back to the home screen and start exploring one of the apps that are usually my favorites, especially since we're talking about a pure Linux system. And I'm talking about the terminal. Now, I want to get to the terminal and show you some cool tricks to show you that this is actually Ubuntu. So one thing I really liked about this terminal and what it made me discover about the operating system is that, let me recall a previous comment. All right. Screen fetch. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but this is basically a little script that tells you information about the system. So you can see here that the operating system is Ubuntu 16.04 Xenial. The kernel is the same kernel that Android uses for the Nexus 5, so it's a modified version of kernel 3.4.0-1. So this is actually, it's just the Ubuntu core version that you used to see on computers. And it's actually pretty surprising. I mean, this is built on top of Android, okay, but this is actually full Ubuntu. I mean, you even have the possibility to use apt-get as a package manager. In fact, I used apt-get to install screen fetch here, and let me show you how to do it. Now, the first thing you want to do is you have to mount the system partition as read-write. So you just mount the system partition as read-write, and then let me exit from root. Okay, now it's normal user. Let's say I want to install Vim, a common, very popular text editor based on the terminal. So I just run sudo apt-get install vim. You see it prompts for it's just usual apt-get, what you used to on Debian and on desktop Ubuntu. I just press Y and enter, and it's now downloading the app I want to use. Now, let me spend a couple of words about this. I am genuinely surprised to see a full Linux operating system running on an Android phone. This makes me think that this same thing is possible with other operating systems like Arch, and on other devices like, I don't know, the Nexus 6. That's my phone. It's my actual phone. And I particularly like this because I am pretty sick of Android for what it's becoming and where it's getting. So seeing that there is an alternative and that it works and that people can build on top of it, makes me kind of feel good. Because I know there is an alternative. I know I don't have to stick with Android for the rest of my life. Now that, as you see, Vim installed correctly, and let me just run it. Vim, as you see, you read Vim v improved. Okay, this is pretty great in my opinion. Let me just write something. Hello world. Let me write like a C++ hello world. So let's try to write a C++ hello world. Vim hw.cpp. We run syntax on. We should have syntax now, and we insert include IOStream So as you see, we already have syntax highlighting. That's pretty awesome. Let's keep going here. And the semicolon. And this just works. Let me save it. Colon. Right quit. Alright, so we have saved our document. Let's get to the file manager now. And here's it. hw.cpp. Of course, I have no app to open it right now, but let me just cat. Let me just cat the file hw.cpp, and you see the file is written correctly. It's there. I don't know. It's stupid. I mean, I know it's stupid, and I'm aware of this, but I really think this is something, because having the possibility to use my apps, the apps I'm used to on the PC, like VIM, which is a text editor that I use pretty much, not all the time, but I use often when I'm coding. Having the possibility to use this on a phone makes me feel like we have the possibility to run like mainstream apps, like for instance Audacity or KDN Live, which is the application I use for editing my videos on a phone. Of course, it won't be as functional, but it's a proof of concept. It's great. So let's keep exploring the operating system. Let's get back to the home screen, and I think this is basically all you need to know. We have the notification drawer, which is notification, rotation, files, location, Bluetooth, flight mode on a network, Bluetooth, network, sound, and then battery, and time and date. So this makes me pretty excited to see like a working operating system that's based on pure Linux on a phone. I mean, this is not Android. I mean, this is built around Android, but it's not Android. And seeing this working, even if not that good, even if the user interface is pretty bad design at this point, but seeing that it works is pretty damn great to me. I have to admit it. It's pretty damn great. Let's get now to finish off with this review. I just wanted to show you some things that are still not working properly on this operating system, and in particular, I want to show you web apps and the fact that they don't really work. I got to Twitter, and now it opens a web page where I should be logging in. So as you see, it's pretty damn slow by itself, but it doesn't end here. So I should log in here, but I don't even have the time to put in my data. And you see, the service is not available right now. Try again later. And this doesn't just happen for Twitter. This happens even for Google+. If I open the Google+ app, which is a web app, I get to the login screen. I should be inserting my data, but as I try to write, the service is not available right now. Try again. I tried many times to get this thing working, but it never worked. I always got this error. I even tried on different networks, but nothing. Doesn't work. Let's keep exploring the system and find some other things that are quite nice, like the weather app that for some reason doesn't work. No locations found. As you see, I should add a location by hand, and let's try to see if I can find Syracuse. Of course, I cannot. Select a city. Rome. Of course, I don't know why, but I cannot find Syracuse here. But yeah, there we go. I somewhat added the Rome location, For some reason, I cannot find my city, but as you see, it works. Partial cloud. You see the forecast. It's pretty nice. It would be even nicer if I could add my city. Maybe if I write here Syracuse, Sicily, Italy. There we go. Okay. Syracuse. Sunny, 63 degrees Fahrenheit. I want to use Celsius, but okay. Maybe there is some setting to change to Celsius. I don't think so. It's nice. It's decent. Here we got Rome. There is a gear here. Units. There we go. Units, temperature, Celsius, wind speed, kilometers per hour. And there we go. 17 degrees Celsius. And in the forecast, it's pretty nice. This is probably one of the best built apps. Oh, this is Rome. Wait a second. Okay, this is Syracuse. Pretty much the same forecast. I don't know. Anyway, this is pretty much one of the probably best built apps because it's simple. You don't have to do anything. Just get the forecast. It loads fine. It works fine. One more thing I wanted to show you is a desktop mode. Now, I know this is a 5-inch screen, but you can actually, with a little trick in the terminal, you can run the desktop mode of Unity 8. So to do this, you have to, let me get to these three and find the real command because I don't quite remember it right. It was like something like G settings. There we go. You have to write G settings set com.canonical dot Unity 8 with a capital U space usage dash mode space windowed. There we go. If I run this command, you see now we are in desktop mode. And what does this mean is that let me just close the terminal app. All right, I got these scopes here, and this doesn't look so different because these apps are full screen, and when apps are full screen in desktop mode, it's kind of weird. You can close stuff here. This like behaves as if it was a desktop, like a pure normal desktop, and this app is loading. I should be seeing the wallpaper maybe, but I don't actually know how to put this app in windowed mode. So maybe if I just try to resize it, kind of, no, it doesn't work. I don't know how to do it, but if I open like the settings app, you see it's windowed, and I lost it. It's windowed. I can resize it if I am precise enough, and I can run it in a window. And same thing with other apps. For instance, we used the weather app before, so let's open it back. Weather, there we go. You can see here the multitasking screen works fine. Let's get back to the weather app and see if I can resize it, but I don't think so. I wouldn't bet on it. It's not as easy, particularly because of the density of the screen. It's not easy. Anyway, here you have your windowed app. It runs fine. This is pretty similar to desktop Ubuntu, actually. More similar to desktop Ubuntu than Ubuntu phone. What you are used to when you see Ubuntu phone, actually. And it works fine. It works really okay. You can use the window decoration to close, minimize, and maximize the apps. Even if you maximize them, I don't know how to get back to normal mode. So I should probably I have no idea. I have really no idea. Maybe 2 fingers, 3 fingers, something. No, not really. But you see here, it works. It works pretty fine. It's like normal desktop Ubuntu. And then to get back to phone mode, you just have to let me get the previous command. You just have to change windowed from this same command and write staged, and then you are back to the normal phone experience. So guys, this is gonna wrap up this video. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, please make sure to press the thumbs up button, and also remember to subscribe to my channel if you want more of this. Again guys, thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.